Spray decks, skirts, call it what you want. These things are meant to help keep water out of your boat, whether you're paddling in heavy conditions or just a bit of rain. There's a skirt that's going to fit your kayak. And today we are going to talk about selecting the right one for you and for your kayak. Zach here from Frontenac Outfitters. So skirts on the menu today. I like to call them a spray skirt. Spray deck is another commonly used term in the industry. And, you know, selecting the right one can feel a little overwhelming sometimes. So let's start with the basics. Things that we want to look for in our skirt is, one, fit. Is it going to fit our boat properly? And we'll discuss how to figure that out. Two, make sure it has a release handle on here. And the next thing would be is just what kind of features you want, right? The Sneak is a really cool skirt here. It's got a couple little accessory pockets, you know, if you want to keep anything close at hand. And then it has this zipper to access into the cockpit. Or if it's just a really hot day and you're paddling in maybe some calmer weather, if you still want the skirt on, you can open it a little bit to get a bit more ventilation. The other thing we'll find on a lot of nylon-based skirts is going to be an adjustable tunnel. And you may find it just has a bungee to adjust around the waist, or you've got some Velcro straps. Obviously, the tighter the fit of the skirt around your midriff here, the more water it's going to keep out in those challenging conditions. Another thing you'll find on a lot more touring or recreational skirts is the use of removable suspenders. I'm not a big fan of them, but they work, right? If you need something to help keep them up, you can use them. If not, they just unclip super easy, and you can just toss them in your gear bag or something that if you may want to use them at some point. There's also a lot of adjustability in nylon skirts too. So you generally have a knot at the back here. There's a little spacer on here. We can take this out if we just find that it's just not quite the right fit, or we could even tighten it up a little bit more too, just to kind of decrease that size within a certain radius. So a nylon skirt is going to be best used for casual boaters, recreation, light touring, you know, as long as you're not getting out into really challenging conditions. Mostly for light splashes coming over the top of the kayak, some rain, that type of thing. Features I would want to find in my nylon spray deck, especially, is going to be this implosion bar. It's probably hard to see on the camera, but we have a little strap here that we can use to tighten up this bar, and it does help create a bit of that water shedding effect so that water doesn't start pooling inside of the pocket here. Problems with a nylon skirt, they're not watertight, right? They're not going to be suitable for paddling in rougher conditions, whitewater especially. If you're a heavy sea kayaker, you know, paddling out in open water where things can get rough, you don't want water pooling in these things or capsizing, because they do have a tendency to slip off really easily compared to a neoprene skirt. So if paddling in more challenging conditions is something that you want to do, I would suggest having a look at a neoprene skirt. So now if we look at a neoprene skirt, neoprene is going to be best suited for, you know, maybe more experienced paddlers. It is a tighter fitting deck around the coaming, so they can be a little harder to get on and off, but they do keep more water out. So if you're into rolling, if you're into paddling rough water, if you're into white water, I would definitely suggest looking at a neoprene spray deck. When we look at the deck, this is just solid neoprene. This is a reinforced one, so it's got this wear material on here that's going to just offer extra protection, so that, you know, if you're doing boat rescues or working in challenging conditions, it just offers a bit of extra wear protection to help save that neoprene. There's also a pro version of this one available that has even more reinforcement built throughout the coaming. This tunnel is going to be sized to fit different people. It's available in a range of sizes from a small up to a double XL, and even some custom options available. There's a few different styles of neoprene decks available. This is just a regular bungee rand. Seals calls this the shocker, but there's a couple different rand styles we can look at when we're looking at neoprene. If we come back to compare our Ace here from level 6 and our just standard shocker here, this isn't the pro shocker, you can see that this is a bungee rand here. So lots of stretch and flexibility to it. Great in cold weather too, because they do stretch really well. Whereas a randed skirt here, we've got some ribs here to help keep the water out, and a lot of grip here to really just attach itself to that coaming to make it very, very watertight, but also implosion resistant, so that water building up on the deck here has less chance to cause this deck to peel off than what a bungee skirt does. Bungees have a tendency to keep a little bit more water out of the boat than the rand, but they are a little bit more prone to implosion. So if you're paddling in really rough conditions and you don't want this skirt coming off, I would look at a randed skirt. If you're playboating, you know, doing river running, casual waters, you know, on the more slightly technical side than just, you know, pond hopping, then I would look at something like the bungee skirt. So there are some options that sit in between the two as well. And these are really popular with a lot of sea kayakers who don't necessarily need a really heavy duty or tight fitting skirt. This is the Extreme Tour from Seals. This is a great hybrid skirt. And a hybrid skirt is essentially going to be a neoprene deck. So you get that nice tight fitting deck across the cockpit opening of the kayak to help shed water and keep it really dry in there with a great fit. But then also the adjustability and comfort of a nylon waistband, so this is a lot more comfortable. It breathes a little better than the neoprene, so it's not as hot on those hot summer days. And again, you can cinch this down around your waist to help keep a lot of water out of it. It also has the suspender, the removable suspender system in it, if that's an option that you like. If not, just remove them, toss them. This can keep out a lot of water if you're wearing a dry top that has one of those double tunnel systems in it. So essentially, you know, it's got an inner core on that paddling jacket or dry suit that tucks into the inside, and then another section of fabric that goes over top of this. So essentially creating a three-piece layer, locking this system in. So it works really well for a lot of sea kayakers. If you're into whitewater, this could work for sure. It wouldn't be my preferred skirt for, you know, paddling technical whitewater, but if you're just starting out, maybe you already own one, totally fine. Going to do the job. Another nice feature that we're going to find on some of the more touring oriented skirts is these little loops here. And we can use this to attach, you know, maybe a small mesh bag or our chart or something like that if we want to have it kind of close to us on the deck here. So we can just use these as tether points. I wouldn't load it up with too much stuff because it's just going to get clunky, but, you know, a chart case or, you know, a small mesh bag with some, you know, essentials that you want to have close at hand on the pocket would be just fine. Skirts are going to be sized for your kayak, depending what size cockpit opening you have. And I don't know about all the manufacturers, but most of the manufacturers are going to have a guide to help, you know, select what size is going to fit your boat best. Seals does a whole range of sizes from like custom Greenland style ocean cockpits, which are like, if you picture a kayak with that circle opening, all the way up to ones that are going to fit the Pungo, which is like a size 7, I believe. And they will do custom sizes in between. So if you've got a hand-built boat, you know, we can order custom sizes for you. So sizes in between there, your common sizes are going to be generally a 1.4 or a 1.7 for most whitewater and sea kayaks, sometimes stretching into a 2.2 or a 2.5 for slightly larger light touring boats, and then up and beyond into more of the recreational kayaks. When it comes to sizing the skirt for your body, nylon is generally going to be pretty easy because it's really a one size fits all. Again, Seals can do some custom stuff if you need it, you know, extra large size, that's fine. Generally, there's within tolerance, you know, there's something that we can work with there. Our neoprene skirts here with the neoprene tunnel, they're going to have to be fit to accommodate you. And then you also want to consider any clothing or gear that you might be wearing underneath. I can get away with a large tunnel on pretty much any spray deck, and it will fit me in the summertime, and it'll also fit me in the wintertime when I'm wearing my dry suit and my layers. Definitely gets tight in the off season when we're paddling in the cold weather, but it still works. If you have any questions on how to do that, well, you can just take a tape measure. I've just got a handy little piece of rope, which I could put against a tape measure after. And you want to measure around the midriff, which is going to be kind of just here around your chest, and take that measurement there. Compare it to the manufacturer's specifications as what range, because it's neoprene, so it's a lot of stretch. So there's going to be a few inches, you know, from the center point that it's going to work for your body size. And then it's as easy as just selecting the right size skirt that you want to use on the particular kayak. How do we do that? So sizing the rand or the bungee to appropriately fit the kayak that you have. Well, again, you can just check our website. We'll have a link on there to send you to that particular manufacturer's size guide. And hopefully they have the boat that you have listed in there to accommodate, you know, one of these factory built skirts. If not, custom options are often available. So if you need a custom skirt ordered, give us a holler. So if you're looking for a skirt for your kayak, have a look on the website. We've got a whole collection of skirts from a couple different manufacturers. We're experts in the field. We can help select the right one for you and what you want to be able to do with it. And of course, we can fit one to your boat. We can custom order whatever you need. For more information, check out frontenacoutfitters.com. Or as always, feel free to give us a call or send us an email. Thanks for watching.